All right, everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the River Channel broadcast of the regional matchup here between the visiting Wausau West High School Warriors out of Wausau, Wisconsin. They're in white on your screen, playing from right to left, and the hometown Hudson Raiders in blue, playing from left to right on your screen. This is the last round of the regionals before we move into the sectional matchups, and should be an exciting game today between these two teams. So these teams generally, I think they have a good history of playing each other season in and season out. Sometimes in the non-conference portions of a season, and sometimes in the playoffs here. So there's familiarity and two good programs here. So it should be fun to watch and to start the game off, we, kind of seeing the typical back and forth in the midfield as the teams sort of figure things out, feel each other out a little bit, and try to figure out what's going to work, et cetera, et cetera. So that's number 3, Tyler Simpson with the throw for the Warriors. Allenoff for the Raiders, Nikki Allenoff, the captain, one of the captains, with the clear there. Up to Lassard. Tries to do a quick turn and drive that ball forward, but disrupted by the defense of the Warriors. Warriors play it back, but Raiders able to maintain control. That's Quinn Packard with the Raiders there with the movement of the ball up the field. Will Cook playing it back. Lassard taking it down the sideline here. Does a cutback. Another cut. Brings it back to Quinn Johnson. Again, that's Nikki Allenoff with the ball. Playing to the corner. Nice defensive play by number 3, Tyler Simpson of the Warriors. Warriors now on the move. Decides to wind up and take a big left-footed shot from close to 30 yards out, and that ball sails wide left, and it'll be a goal kick for the Raiders. For those of you unfamiliar, the Raiders finished this season as number 2 in the Big Rivers Conference with a conference record of 8-1-1, just a hair behind Eau Claire Memorial, which finished at 8-0-2. So tight conference there for the Big Rivers Conference, and then in the Wisconsin Valley Conference, Wausau West finished with a record of 6-3. Right behind DC Everest that was 7-2, but Wausau West took it to DC Everest in the first round of the regionals and have advanced to this match. So to get here, the Raiders defeated Eau Claire North Huskies by a score of 8-0. So should have a good match here, and we're already seeing some very competitive play. Some familiar styles, lots of harassing defense, lots of movement of the ball. Matson gets it up to Netterlow. Oh, nice feed through there. Netterlow's coming in on it. Just a little out of reach for Netterlow there. And a clear by West. Allenoff on it. Getting pressure. Gets it over to Ouellette. He's pressured too, puts it to space, but nobody there, and that's going to be a throw-in for Wausau West. We're about 4 minutes into the match. Our score remains 0-0. Winner of this match will advance to play the winner of either the number 1 seed in the conference, Eau Claire Memorial, or the number 4 seed, Wisconsin Rapids High School, who are playing right now. Actually, they started an hour earlier than this match because Eau Claire Memorial does not have lights. They just play on a kind of a general open field on the campus there, and so no lights, and so they always got to start a little earlier this time of year. Wausau puts that ball far off the goal, but it'll be a goal kick for the Raiders. Ball goes into Cook from Quinn Packard there, and Wausau is able to take that ball back, but misplay there. Puts it out of bounds. Will be a Raiders throw. That's Packard on the throw back to Allenoff. Very competitive Wisconsin Valley Conference with DC Everest finishing the conference at 7-2, Wausau West at 6-3, and Wisconsin Rapids at 5-2-2. So very tight between those three teams. So comes Lassard, gets a blast off, sends it low to the lower left corner, but the goalkeeper for Wausau West, looks like that's Carson Vandewall, played that very nicely. Was not able to hold on to the ball, though, so it's going to be a Raiders corner kick, and this will be fun to watch. Sometimes the Raiders play a two-man short game. As you can see, Wausau West is defending on that, so imagine we're going to see a traditional kick here. It's a big ball in. It's a nice ball there. Good head. Raiders had some opportunities, but Wausau West defense holds, and they're looking to clear it. Packard sends a hard ball up the middle, nobody there. And that'll be a goal kick for Wausau. Number 22, William Stengel in for the Warriors. Wausau on the attack. Olette makes a nice stop there. Ball played up by Vandenberg to Lassard. Tries to send it to the corner, but the defense stifled that. Nice ball up the corner to Netterlo, who's got some speed. He's got it around. He's going to set it up. Little disruption there. Question is, who's that off? Nope, it's going to be a goal. Corner kick. Referee made the call. And that'll be a corner kick for the Raiders. Looks like Will Cook and Soren Matson setting up in the corner. Olette up deep and on the ball, but not able to get a healthy shot off there. Allenoff playing deep defensively with Quinn Johnson, and they corral that ball as Olette makes his way back. Ball's out to Lassard. Pushing it up the sideline, feeding it, a little misplay there between Vandenberg and Lassard. And the Raiders play it all the way back to Parker Strumke, who's playing goal for the Raiders right now. I see Heidi Lazard has checked in out of Florida here, supporting the Raiders remotely on the YouTube channel. So thanks for tuning in again, Heidi. I think you're in the Sanibel area, if I'm remembering right, from the other night. Always great to have you tuning in. If anybody else out there in YouTube land is tuning in, please put in who you're cheering for, where you're from, and all that good information. We always like to see who's furthest away watching these games. Now Warriors on the attack, setting up. They're going to take another long blast. It's number 10, Kaido Lore, sets up about a 28-yard shot and sends it just above the goal. It's a long blast. In for the Warriors, number 6, Horacio Gutierrez. So we certainly invite everyone tuning in here to the River Channel on YouTube to enter into the chat. Again, who you are, who you're rooting for, and where you're at. It's always fun to see. I know in talking to assistant coach Amy Graybill of Wausau West that she's got a contingent in Colorado. It sounds like watching the match today, so we're certainly glad to have all of you tuning in from Hudson as well as Wausau. It's a little bit of a haul to get here from Wausau. Here comes the Raiders. It's a ball in there. And that is Owen Netterlow with a great tap-in header. And the Raiders are going to take the lead on that 1-0 goal. And that's a goal for number 10, Owen Netterlow of the Raiders. Raiders take a 1-0 lead at the 10.5-minute mark. That play almost seemed like it was in slow motion. I think if goalkeeper Carson Vandewall had it over it again, he'd go right after that ball. But I think he wasn't sure what Netterlow was going to do with it, and that's a tricky play for a goalkeeper. But Netterlow with a nice tap over touch header. Headsy play with not literally and figuratively by him, because that's the only way he was going to score. And I think he caught the goalkeeper moving one direction, and he was able to actually head it the other direction. Whether that was all by design or not, I don't know, but it's a fantastic play nonetheless. And the Hudson Raiders in blue take the lead 1-0 here. We've seen Wausau with some good opportunities, though, and some strong legs, taking some good long-distance shots. And so I'm sure this game's going to remain interesting here. So Lassard going for the corner. Wausau gets a short clear. Thank you, Adam, for sharing that out. We'll get on that right now. John, people are saying there's no video on YouTube. Okay. All right. Sounds like we should be back online if you continue. Oh, thank you, Adam Dykman. Sounds like it's working now. All technical work here done by my friend John Tangen of River Channel, and he does a great job. And sometimes there's hiccups, but John's always right on it. So good job, John. Oh, big blast in by looks like Quinn Johnson, and Raiders are almost there to do something with it, but Vandewall makes sure that ball goes nowhere near the goal and sends it out, and the Raiders will have another corner kick here. Matson and Cook in the corner. Wausau does not want the Raiders to play their short game, so they're going to put two defenders out there. Matson with a nice kick. Netterlow's up and on it, but it's tough to time those sometimes, and Owen had to jump quite a ways to get on that one. So sounds like video-wise, perhaps the goal was missed, and kind of what it was a little mini breakaway by Netterlow on a bouncing ball, and he timed the high bounce and just lightly headed it. He was about three yards off the front of the goal, right in the middle, and tapped it in with his head, so over the goalkeeper. So it was it's a heck of a play, and it's unfortunate you missed it, but maybe you'll be able to rewind it and see it. No, John's shaking his head, so sorry. You're just going to have to, audience, you'll just have to live off my beautiful description of it. However, there'll be more action for all of you to watch. So, again, Heidi and Adam, thanks for putting in the chat that the video wasn't working. We take all the help and support we can on that end of things, just so we know. Takes a lot of wires and devices to bring these matches to you. So Lassard gets a head on. Cook's gonna oof. Well, Cook had the shot despite having the time. That's still a tough ball to time, and he got a shot off, but not nearly what he wanted. So Number 13, Giovanni Morales in for the Raiders. Wausau on the attack now. They've had some good opportunities off these runs. It's number 4, Tyler Foster, putting a left-footed blast in that wasn't really on goal, but I think he was trying to set up maybe something like try to curl that ball out to the right, but probably went off his foot incorrectly, and Tyler Strumke all over it, catching that ball out of the air and sending it up to the offense. Oh, Parker Strumke, thank you. Sorry. Tyler Hinsdall and Parker Strumke are the 2 goalies, and I think I just blended their names together. They both usually play half a game, so both high-quality keepers for the Raiders, though, so it's a real luxury. Strumke will be the lead next year, most likely, as he's a junior, and Tyler Hinsdall is the senior. Netterlow with the ball in the middle, getting harassed by about 3 defenders there. Probably done their homework and know that Owen is the far and away leading scorer for the Raiders this year. Probably one of the highest, if not the highest scorer in the conference. And already has 1 goal on the board tonight. So they're going to be watching him closely. Swim out there giving a shout out to Henry Newman. Good to have you tuning in, and we'll appreciate everybody tuning into the River Channel today for today's match. A little push from behind by Alanoff, going to be a foul. It's going to set Wausau up in a spot they're going to like. You can put a nice ball into the scoring area from that spot, about at the angle, probably about 43, 44 yards, and probably look for that ball to be planted right outside the football end zone if they play it right. Nice left-footed ball in, a little deep, so makes it a little easier for Strumke to get that ball than if he has to come out further. Makes goalkeepers a little nervous, but that was a pretty good hit from that distance by Wausau. Seeing a good match here. Lots of good plays from both sides. We're about 17 and a half minutes into the first half. Hudson Raiders with a score of 1. Wausau West Warriors with a score of 0. Lots of pushing from behind on Lassard and who is that? I got it. Yeah, that's Lassard. That's what's throwing me off is Jack Poole had white hair 3 days ago, and now he doesn't. And from a distance, he and Calvin Lassard look awfully a lot alike. So big bodies. So now I got to be a little more careful. Alanoff over to Olette, another captain, 2 defensive captains there, and then Henry Vandenbark is the 3rd captain. Morales brings it out to Packard, into Lassard. Or nope, that's Poole. I'm going to get those mixed up a few times. Just a beautiful night here, or afternoon, in the St. Croix River Valley. It's probably 52 degrees right now, maybe. Not much wind. A little bit blowing at Wausau's back. And sun is in and out with the clouds. And couldn't ask for a better day here for a big match like this. was talking to a few of the coaches, and I remember 4 years ago when my son was a senior on the Raiders team playing in a match about this time of year. There had been a blizzard that week, and the far side of the field was piled with snow. So so this is a real luxury to for fans as well as players. About 20 minutes into the match, hometown Raiders 1, visiting Wausau Warriors 0. At halftime, we'll try to find out what's going on in the Memorial game.
I just tried to figure it out.
Nothing?
I couldn't find anything.
Okay, we'll keep working. If anybody at home is sitting there with a laptop or whatever and can check what's happening in the Eau Claire Memorial, believe they're live streaming it maybe, and pop it in the chat. I love it. I'm trying to run the live stream here, the PA for the stadium, and I have a hard enough time with one thing, let alone two things. But that's a nice ball in by Wausau. Allen off with the clear. And Wausau with the throw. Tyler Simpson on the throw. Gets it into number 10. Masaki Lohr, cleared again by the Raiders. Throw on the back shoulder and knocked out of bounds by Wausau, and that'll end that threat. The Raiders will get the goal kick here. Ball's up to Lassard. Sends it up, trying to get Netterlow again in that sweet spot, but defense was not going to give him that again. Netterlow sets up. Jack Pools fires, but just misses it. Lassard also kind of waiting for a good, that's going to be, it's ticked by Wausau, but picked up by Carson Vandewall there, and Raiders' threat has ended. 2 times the Raiders there kind of took an extra heartbeat to wait for that ball to get in a better place to shoot, and that allowed Wausau to close on it. And so sometimes players will just take the shot when it's open, even if they're not going to get what they want on it, and that's not always great. And then sometimes you wait, and that's not always great. So it's a judgment call, and it happens many times in the game, whether it's shooting, passing. It's a good run there by Poole. Okay, offside call somewhere down there. I didn't see it, so, but they're right there, the officials, and that'll be a kick for Wausau. Lots of big matches today around the section. We'll go through those in a little bit here, but Wausau is going to have a dangerous opportunity here, about 40, 50 yards out. But again, they're going to be able to put this ball in the scoring area. It's a nice chip, a little further out. Ouellette gets a head on it, but it goes over. Luckily, that was a bad trajectory from the goal, and goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick now for Wausau West. In for the Warriors, number 8, Luis Sandoval Velasquez. And in for the Raiders, number 21, Sam Olson. All right, corner kick here. Whew. Again, Raiders with a big clear. It looked dangerous from up here. I'm not sure how close it was, but it made my heart skip a bit on that clear that might have been going at the goal. Another corner kick here for Wausau West. It's a nice left-footed ball, but Strumke again, skying, catching it at the peak, played that ball beautifully. Not a lot of pressure. He just stepped in front of the Wausau West striker there and took that ball like a goalkeeper can, and that was a nice play. Header low on the outside, feeds it up to Lassard. He's got the cutback. Does a little move and flick. Nice play. Just a little heavy. I think he had his adrenaline going there, and he hit that cross hard, and it outflew everyone. Now at about 25-minute mark, Raiders continue to lead 1-0. Raiders with it deep. It's going to be a goal kick for the Warriors. Carolyn Honecke, thank you for tuning in with your clan there from Wausau. Sounds like your husband is Coach Matt. It's exciting. And the kids, Jenna, Isabel, and Benjamin, future soccer stars, I'm sure, all tuning into this great match. So thanks for tuning in and supporting your team, and a great game so far. Off of Netterlo, that ball was just teetering the line. In soccer, it's not out of bounds till the entire ball is across the line, and even if it's in the air and across the line, it's out of bounds. Though, so a little different than some sports. So number 3, Diego Vega in for your Raiders. Yeah, there's a lot of youth on this team, so that's exciting. Calvin Lassard is a sophomore. Vega's a sophomore. Will Cook is a freshman. Yeah, it's going to be they've got some talent here to take him into the future. Sam Olson out there is a sophomore. Bunch of juniors that'll be back. Hudson soccer is going to be in good shape for the foreseeable future. And looking at Wausau West, they've got a lot of juniors coming back next year too, and a bunch of sophomores and freshmen. So they will certainly continue to be a force in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. I have many good memories of Wausau and soccer. I coached traveling soccer for about 30 years, and forget the name of the big water park there, but we always stayed there, and then my teams were never ready for the tournament. But we had a lot of fun and a lot of good memories, and I don't know if any of my players sometimes they tune into these games, if you guys remember it, but we had some fun there. And Wausau's a beautiful little area. I bet Carolyn Honecke's kids, they might know that water park. All right, here's a update. It sounds like Eau Claire Memorial's handily in control of the game, with Rapids leading 6-0. So most likely the next match, whoever it is, will be playing in Eau Claire. Referee has made some type of call. I'm not sure what. Offsides, it sounds like. So on the Owen Netterlo goal, Nikki Elenoff gets credit for the assist on that. They have a plant on the Raider bench, Isaac McKenzie, senior, was starting at the beginning of the season and got injured. So he is feeding me all that information that I can't always see. So thank you, Isaac, for that. And good job, Nicky Allen, off on the assist. It's Poole feeding that ball up. Too much defense. Play there. Sam Olsen trying to snatch that away, but too much speed on the ball. Collision there. Wausau gets called for the foul. It's a tough one. It's a tough call, but the referee has a better perspective on it. It looks like maybe the Wausau player kind of undercut Packard and gets the call. Cook sends it up. There's going to be a high bounce there. Nice play by Van de Waal there. That was reminiscent of the goal scored, but Van de Waal this time came out hard for that ball, and he wasn't able to grab it, but he was able to tip it over and then grab it. So nice play by him on that play. Cook gets called for a. Oh, I thought he called a foul, but I guess it's just a throw-in. Ouellette sending it over to Vandenbark. Nice cutback by Vandenbark. Does another quick play around. Too much defense there to get through. Was looking for a trip. Ball out by West, and that'll be a throw-in for the Raiders deep in their territory. Thank you, Carolyn Honicke, but I'm kind of sad that the water park there is closed. Nice head over by Vega. Nobody there for the Raiders, though. Quinn Packard sends it high. Raiders come in to challenge, but a nice play by Van de Waal to grab that ball out of the air. All right, it's Alanoff of the Raiders. Bringing it back to Strumke. Sends it over to Netterlo, who's now playing on the far side of the field. Got around the defense. He's carrying it. Tried to thread a needle, but wasn't able to get it up to Olsen. Down to about 7 minutes in the match. Vega with a nice takeaway, and he takes a shot. Just a little too far under that ball and sends it high, but nice play and a nice blast there by Diego Vega of the Raiders. Who's that? 23. Number 23, Holden Kohler back in the match for the Warriors. Good takeaway there by Cook up to Netterlo. Sending it all the way over to Lassard, or no, Vandenbark. Olsen tried to make something happen on that and almost did, but a good play by Wausau defense. Masaki Laura on the ball for the Warriors there. Trying to feed, I'm guessing that's his brother, Kaito Lore. If anybody from Wausau can confirm their brothers maybe, that'd be great. And Raiders, though, get that ball and bring it deep, and Netterlo never gives up, and he's got speed. So hard takeaway there by, another hard takeaway by the Raiders, but the Raiders get a foul called on that one. Free kick here for the Warriors. Played off the back, and then the Raiders able to pick it up. Vega now heads it over to Vandenberg. Dishes it off to Cook. Cook trying to play a ball across, but not on the same wavelength with Vega there. Alanoff sends it up, but deflected out by Luis Sandoval Velasquez of the Warriors. Now down to about 5 minutes in the first half. Our score remains Raiders 1, Warriors of Wausau West 0. Big ball in there by Netterlow. It's a nice ball, but Packard goes for a blast. Sam Olsen's got it sitting there. He sets it up, and wow, what a save. Olsen plays it down nicely, moves it over, takes a left-footed blast, but Vandewall makes a beautiful kick save and goal for Wausau West. It's number 22, William Stengel, back in the match for the Warriors. And number 18, Calvin Lassard, in for the Raiders. Lassard coming in at a good time with a corner kick. He's got height. He's got jumping ability. It's a high ball for the Raiders. That's all over. Lassard jumps for it, but gets beaten out. Cook takes a timely blast, but again gets under it too much, and it sails the goal. Be a goal kick for Wausau with 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Quinn Johnson with a nice header back to Lassard. Wausau playing tough D, always putting two guys on Lassard and Netterlow. Vandenberg on it. Again, runs into too much defense. Raiders taking a few extra touches, and here we go. Lassard with a cutback. His defender falls over, gives Lassard a great chance. Oh my goodness, Vega's there, disrupts it, hits a Warrior and clears out. A heck of a play by the Raiders, but no goal and good defense by Wausau. It's a great, exciting play here. Ball comes back to Alanoff. Down to about 2.5 minutes now in the first half. Teams they're aware of the clock and would love to get something else on here before the half. Both teams would, that is. Lassard really uses his body well. Kind of misdirects with his body. Creates some space. Alanoff now with it. Sends the ball up. It's in a good spot. Too far out for the goalkeeper to go get it. It's going to be a corner kick again for the Raiders with just 2 minutes left in the half. Looks like Poole and Cook in the corner. Sends that one in tight to the goal. Oh my, I thought Vega had that one. Ball sneaks through. Vega was right there, but just missed it. In for the Raiders, number 11, Soren Matson. All right, folks, we're going to be dialing into the last minute here, and we'll take a short break at halftime, 10 minutes on the nose that you can count on if you're going to go take a break or make a little snack for your kids or you or whatever you got to do. But we'll be back in about 10 minutes, 1 minute from now. Foul on the Raiders going to give Wausau a kick here. 1 minute. Wausau had a blast there, but Raiders defense gets in the way. Quick ball up to Poole. Sends it up to Sam Olsen on the outside. Saves it. He's going to try to get around Ooh, I guess that ball skeetered out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for Wausau. That likely will bring us to the half, but we'll see. Another head out by the Raiders. 20 seconds left in the half. Big ball up by Wausau. Cleared by the Raiders. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's halftime, folks. Our score, Hudson Raiders 1, Wausau West Warriors 0. We'll see you back in 10 minutes. Lots of tasty treats and beverages in the concession stand for everybody. All right, folks, we are back for the second half. First half was an exciting one with the Raiders taking the lead at about the 10.5-minute mark with a goal by Owen Netterlow, but a solid matchup across the board today. Good offensive attempts from Wausau West, kind of from distance though, but some excellent long distance shots, just missing the goal, and the Raiders capitalizing on a nice short header by Owen Netterlow at about, like I said, the 10.5-minute mark. So the Raiders have made a goalkeeper change. Senior number 1 Tyler Hindall in orange. Nice chip in there. And Hindall's challenged right away, but smothers that ball, and be a kick for Hindall here. So the Raiders very rarely this year have had a goalkeeper play the whole game. So Solom has been playing Hindall for a half and Strumke for a half. Sometimes, again, Wausau electing to take a really long shot. That's about a 35-yard shot. And they had a little space there to try to do something with the ball, but sometimes you catch the goalkeeper out of position, sometimes you catch him sleeping, so you take those shots too. And thank you again, Adam Dykman, for your help. It sounds like the Lore boys on Wausau West here, Kaito and Masaki, are brothers, and that's pretty fun to see two brothers playing side by side. Kaito a sophomore, Masaki a senior. Good memory for those guys for sure. Throw in here for Wausau West. Quinn Packard heads it out. Gets a big foot on it, but doesn't send it too far. Sends it high. Netterlow's on it. Gets a little outmaneuvered there, and Wausau West going to carry it up. That was number 11, TJ Sondelski. And Elenoff sends that ball out of bounds. That'll be a throw in here for Wausau West. So in these playoff formats, it's different than the regular season. If a regular season a match ends in a tie, then it's just a tie. We'll wait and see what happens here. Raiders with the clear up to Netterlow. He's going to carry it a bit and try to use his speed a little bit. Poked out of bounds by Wausau West. But in the playoffs, if it ends in a tie, we'll play 2 10-minute periods, regardless of who scores first. So there's no golden goal. There's no sudden death. You're going to play 2 10-minute periods, and who's ever leading at the end of that is the victor. And if there isn't, then it goes to penalty kicks. And with the penalty kicks, it'll be 5 kicks per side. If it's still tied, then it's 1 kick at a time. And as soon as someone takes the lead, that'll be the game. So you kind of hope not for a shootout, but they're exciting. But we'll see what happens here. Vandewall of the Warriors taking the goal kick here for Wausau. That's Masaki Lore coming back to get that ball. Vandenbark with a nice head over there. Tyler Lassard dribbles it into a little too much defense there, and Wausau gets the clear. Netterlow into Lassard again. Decides to try to take it out. Oh, just Sard's got some nice foot skills, but that one was tough to maneuver. Wausau trying to get it up the sideline again. There's Vandenbark with a nice takeaway. Puts a nice left-footed cross on. Netterlow's there. He's going to gather it in and try to make something happen. Sends one through. Gets flipped up in the air by Wausau. Raiders get a head over into Lassard. Gets around one guy. And off the Raiders will be a goal kick for the Warriors. This broadcast, again, is brought to you by the River Channel out of Hudson, Wisconsin. River Channel broadcasts all Raiders home games for boys and girls soccer and pretty much all major sports, football and basketball and hockey and a number of away games too, which is fun. So tune in for all your games. If you miss some games, they're usually sitting there. Big cross in there. Raiders come in, but no one can time it right. And Wausau gets to bring it up. Oh, back to Elenoff. Sends it over to Netterlow. All the way back to Ouellette. Vandenbark with the ball. So as I mentioned, Jack Poole, sorry, had white hair for the whole season, and that seems to be gone. And then a number of players have elected to cut their hair short, so it's a little harder to recognize them for me from distance, but we're getting it down here. As these guys get into the playoffs, they start all getting a little superstitious and stuff like that, which is fun. Winner of this match will be taking on Eau Claire Memorial on Halloween night or Halloween afternoon, most likely. Eau Claire, like I said, does not play soccer under the lights, so it will be an earlier match, most likely. Probably a 4 o'clock, maybe a 3 o'clock start. So whoever ends up winning here will have to keep your eyes on the official information on that. I don't think it's likely that Wisconsin Rapids overcame that 6-goal deficit. So I am speculating a bit. About 7 minutes into the second half, and our score stays as it has been, 1-0 lead for the Hudson Raiders. And those are the Raiders in blue, playing from right to left on your screen this half. And Wausau West is a head over, head across. Nice play by the Raiders. That's what they try to do. One heads it over, and another guy's there to take the shot of some sort. And that was Lassard heading over, and Jack Poole trying to head that ball into the goal, but kind of lost a little steam there. And be a throw in here for William Stengel of the Warriors. Gets it into Masaki Lohr. Too much defense on Lohr, though. Good tap-out play by Vandenbark, and Lassard's able to pick it up. Calvin somehow gets around. Gambling slide tackle by T.J. Sendelski of the Warriors, and it pays off. Lassard jumps over it. Could have tried to take the trip. With the slide tackle, it's a gamble because if you get the ball, if you hit ball, then it's fine. You're not going to get any penalty. If you don't get ball and take a guy down, it would definitely be a penalty kick for the Raiders there. So, but that played out well for Wausau West, and they brought it down. But now the Raiders looking to push it up the field. Netterlow up to Matson. Nice defensive play by Wausau West there. Ooh. Okay, a little defensive miscommunication there, or at least a little too light of a pass back to Hindall, and Raiders certainly avoided catastrophe is a good word for that. You know, this is the end of the season for one of these teams, so they are not going to, especially when it's 1-0. It's going to be played hard all the way to the end here. Sending it through, trying to get the ball up to Lassard. Too much on it though. Lassard gets tripped up, but there's no foul on that. That's incidental and nowhere near the ball. So big step up there by Quinn Johnson. Nice play. Brings it back to Vandenbark, sends it over to Matson. Yeah. It's a Masaki Lore with Kaito Lore, sorry, on that play. Using a little too much of a push off, and you can kind of use your shoulder. You got to keep your arm in, really, and he had the elbow extended. Ball's going in by Alanoff. It's a little heavy. Yeah, a little heavy. Kind of want to put that ball right around the top of the football end zone, because then the goalkeeper just can't come out and play that ball. But it's not as easy as it sounds. That's the general strategy, though, is to put that ball into the area, but not enough that the goalkeeper can make a play on it. So, big ball up by West. In for Wausau West, number 6, Horacio Gutierrez, and number 23, Holden Kohler. And in for the Raiders, number 21, Sam Olson. Big throw by Matson. Ball kind of bounced around, made it hard for Wausau to clear it. Comes back to Ouellette. Gets deflected, but is able to at least get the ball up the field and out of danger. Wausau trying to send it through. Wausau again gearing up for a long shot. It's kind of a tough angle to shoot on, and from distance, but again, you pop it in there and just see what happens sometimes, and especially if you're having trouble penetrating into the scoring area, you'll take those long shots and see if the goalie will deflect it and create a rebound, things like that. So Hindall, though, watch that ball. He knew it wasn't in danger, let it go out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Raiders. Big boot up by Hindall. Head over by Matson. Matson back on it. Sends it up the middle. Nobody home, though. And Wausau gets it up. Just saves it on the end. Nope, out of bounds. Raiders throw. Again, for those of you tuning in just for the second half here, Hudson Raiders in blue playing from right to left on your screen, the home team with the 1-0 lead, the number 2 seed. And Wausau West Warriors in white. They are the number 6 seed in the section, as the visiting team playing from left to right on your screen. Well, that's a bump in there, but not enough for a foul in the box. You're really not going to get a call for that in the box. Big head up by Olette. Can see a step up in intensity, I think, especially by Wausau this half. Good deflection there by Olette, and makes it, diffuses that threat, and Hindall picks that ball up. So far, a very clean game, well played, competitive all over the field. It's just been a fun game to watch. Really nice move there. And again, a longer shot, about a 20, probably about a 25-yard left-footed shot from the angle, and ball goes high, and Raiders will have a goal kick. Number 3, Diego Vega in the game for the Raiders. Soren Matson catching a break. He did a lot of running in the last 5-10 minutes there. Took a beating a few times, so a little bit of a break for him. Hindall's going to send this ball up. Nederlo plays it well. He's going to use his speed down here. Cuts back. Puts a little chip across. That's nice. That's right where Vega is. Oh. Vega just out of reach. It's a nice play, though. So like sometimes you think, why is he crossing it to that spot? But that's because if all things are going right, then the far side player like Diego Vega knows that that's kind of a set play for Nederlo to put the ball in that area potentially. So almost executed greatly. Olette with a little bicycle clear. Taken back by Wausau. Wausau playing it back to the defense. Pressure from Vega. Vandenbark up to Vega again. Nobody on Vega. He's going to carry it a hair. Passes it up. It's Poole on the ball. Sends it into the middle. Sam Olsen's there. He feeds it back. Oof. Cleared by Wausau. Man, we're seeing end-to-end good play here. This is a fun match to watch. Sending it through again. Olette on it. Just missed by, that's number 4, Tyler Foster. Wausau. Again, sneaks it off, and oh boy. Wow, Wausau had the chance of the game there, but just tough timing. And we're going to have a throw in here. We're going to pause this for a minute. Oop, got to stop the clock.
You didn't give me the sign.
Oh, didn't he? Oh, keep her going then.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nederlo gets the clear. Poole trying to hit Nederlo on a deep through ball. Up to Nederlo again. He's got it. And he's got the speed to get to that ball. He sends it through and he scores. Oh my gosh. What a play by Owen Nederlo. Wow, tough angle. Moving into it. Wow, what a play by Netterlow. Oh my gosh, that was something. That was sweet. Yeah, heck of a play. At the 59-minute mark, that's Owen Netterlow, number 10, with the goal for your Raiders. So Netterlow, the leading scorer of the team, probably one of the leading scorers of the conference without doubt, and he has notched his second really spectacular goal of the game. First goal wasn't quite as exciting maybe, but equally spectacular with the tap over header that no one got to see because unfortunately the camera wasn't working right. That one, hopefully everybody saw and can appreciate. That was a hustle goal. He could have let that just go out of bounds. You see that a lot, but he hustled it in and took a tough angled shot and snuck it in. So it's going to give the Raiders a 2-0 lead now with about 20 minutes left in the match. And we're going to see Wausau West probably trying some interesting things and maybe pushing some more players up on offense. When you get down by 2 now, it starts to get challenging, or at least somewhere in maybe the next 10 minutes, we're going to probably see a little different strategy potentially because when your season's on the line, you gotta go after that goal. You gotta get one at least, because then you never know what's going to happen with penalty kicks or just human error. You can always kind of pick one up if you get lucky and things like that, but getting 2 is trickier. So that you're really going to have to do something here to try to put something on the board and then at the same time keep the Raiders from adding any more. So it's about 50 minutes between goals there. Raiders got one at about 10.5, and then last one at about 49. Wausau again trying to move that ball into the offensive zone here. Raiders get it out to Vega. Great defense. It was a good defensive play by number 5, Emilio Velasquez, but it was the push afterwards. That's a time. Yeah, sorry, he did it that time. Yep, and it was the push after the takeaway that was unnecessary, and Vega went down hard. So we're going to pause just for a moment. Vega's up. Might have had the wind knocked out of him, but Raiders will get a free kick at about midfield. Again, other action around the region today. We'll have number 1 Kimberly taking on number 4 De Pere, probably right around this time, I'm guessing, and number 3 Hortonville taking on number 2 Green Bay Preble. Those are the games that'll feed an eventual game between the winner of this and Eau Claire Memorial. On the other side of the bracket, Brookfield East taking on Germantown, Hamilton taking on Neenah. Big ball in by the Raiders. A lot of a cluster of defense there. Gets it out for Wausau, and now they're on the counterattack. Ball gets a little bit ahead of them on the turf. The ball really moves, and Olette's able to get the clear. Raiders have the luxury of that 2-goal lead now. So they're going to be doing everything just to keep that ball out of the defensive end. And if that just means keep clearing it, that's probably what you'll see them do a lot of here. In the section 2, again, number 1 Brookfield East, number 9 Germantown advanced over number 8 Oshkosh North. Hamilton advances over Appleton East and played Neenah today. I don't know the outcome of that match. And then Sheboygan North. Here comes a corner kick for the Raiders. It's a low ball taken by the Wausau player on the post there. Risky pass back there by Wausau, and it's taken by Lassard. It's going to bring it down. Nice tap back. Guy falls over. He's got space now. Puts a little chip on. Netterlow's there. Oh, and Netterlow again with a high jumping header, trying to get it over the goalkeeper's head again. But it's kind of one of those. You're going to get one. You're probably not going to get two of those in a game, but you never know. Again, trip by Wausau West. They've been taking the ball, but they've been making a little too much contact while doing it. At least that's what the refs are calling. And when you trip up, come from behind and take the ball, but then are tripping the player, you're going to get called. Most likely, Allenoff with the kick. Yeah, kind of a mishit there by Nicky. Goes behind everybody, but able to recollect it. It's a good ball in. Raiders are all over it again. That's Lassard. He's got space now. Again, just taking a hair time to take that big shot, and that's letting the defense close in. Down to about 16 minutes or so, about 16 and a half minutes. Oh, there's a blast by the Raiders. There it is, number 21, Sam Olsen, with the number 3 goal for the Raiders. A big left-footed blast. That goal at the 63-minute mark. Number 21, Sam Olsen for the Raiders. And that is that's going to make a challenging score for Wausau. Got a player down for Wausau, so we'll hold off on the kickoff. Raiders had that all-important third goal, and see how they can maintain that. Wausau West, though, they're going to continue to press. It's plenty of time to put some goals on the board and make it interesting. So Raiders got to stay focused and see what they can put together here. Great play by Sam Olsen, though. Really nice shot. Knew he had the time to take a second to let that ball settle right, and he did. Sometimes you don't know, and you take that second, and the defense swipes it. Great takeaway there by Vandenbark. He's going to pull it back. Tangled up. Sends it through. That's Netterlow. Tries to sneak it by. Hits the post. Outside of the post. Deflected a bit by the goalkeeper, and Netterlow trying to get that hat trick goal, I guess, and almost does. In for your Raiders, number 4, Sullivan Kelly. Two great headers there by the Raiders, keeping it in their offensive end. One by Ouellette and one by Henry Vandenbark. Those plays make a big difference in the course of the game. It keeps the ball in your offensive half. Ball's coming out. Allenoff playing deep. Plays it back nicely to Hindall. Plays it back to Allenoff. You can see Wausau is pressuring everywhere, hoping to cause a mistake or an error. Down to about 15 minutes in the match. It's been a great matchup, though, all around. Wausau's struggled to find shots, legitimate shots within the zone. They've taken some great shots and had some really good opportunities and were close on some distance shots, but haven't quite tapped into those shots in the box, in the scoring area, and that's been the difference so far. Raiders have had those opportunities and capitalized. It's Vandenbark on it. Chases it down. Nice play by goalkeeper Carson Vandewall of Wausau West. All right, we're at about 14 minutes. Referee having a little chat. It looked like a little bit of a, maybe it was just telling, there was a little bit of a collision between the goalkeeper and Henry Vandenbark, and sometimes he just says, you know, be careful with that. Alanoff sends a driver in, but kind of mishits it. And that's cleared by Wausau. Will be a Raiders throw. In for the Warriors, number 8, Luis Sandoval Velasquez. Raiders keeping the offensive pressure on. You need to do that because that keeps it out of your defensive area. I can't sit on a 3-goal lead in the playoffs at all. Jackson Ouellette with a nice step up there, even though they maintained the ball, it forced them back, and now Matson tries to send it out wide, but not on the same page with Lassard, and Wausau gets that ball. Ouellette, I don't know how that ball went backwards, but it did. And Raiders maintain the ball. Alanoff sends it up deep to Matson, who does a little head over to Lassard. Pulls it back, sends it over to Vandenbark, who sends it out wide to Sullivan Kelly. High ball up, and just a little too far for Vandenbark. Number 3, Diego Vega back in the game for your Raiders. So Diego Vega, who had to leave the match after getting, I think, the wind knocked out of him, is back in the match. So that's good to see for the Raiders for today and potentially for a game coming up. We're down to about 11 minutes and 20 seconds in the match. Raiders in blue continue to lead now by a score of 3-0 over Wausau West. Number 13, Lars Mahler in for the Warriors. Ball just moving too fast for Velasquez of the Warriors. Tough play. Good hustle by him, though. Warriors have put together a lot of good defensive plays and offensive plays. Just, again, not able to get those higher percentage scoring opportunities. And Raiders with some spectacular goals, too. I mean, they worked for them. They worked the ball inside and capitalized on the opportunities. It's been the difference so far. Number 22, William Stengel in for the Warriors. Coming up tonight here at Hudson High School after the soccer match, we'll have a good play here by the Warriors, trying to make something happen. Lots of hustle there by Masaki Lore, but eventual shot from a little distance, might have been wide, but Tyler Hindall picks it off on the ground anyway. But as I was saying tonight, the Hudson girls volleyball, which is the first team in the history of the high school. Here comes. And it's flipped over and in. That's a goal for your Raiders. That's number 4, Sullivan Kelly. Fresh off the JV, I believe, just a few weeks ago. Pulled up for the playoffs, and he gets the score. Number 4, Sullivan Kelly with the goal for your Raiders at the 71-minute mark. So we got Owen Netterloh with 2 goals. And Sam Olson with a goal. And we've got Sullivan Kelly. Exciting time. Sullivan's a sophomore and was one of the players pulled up for the playoffs off JV by Coach Solom, and got to crack the lineup today and get in the game, and he puts in a nice hustle goal there, and good for him and good for the Raiders. Now at 4-0 with about 9 minutes left. Despite the score, I would say our Wausau West friends here have played a heck of a match. It was really 1-0 by the Raiders for the first, I forget what, almost 60 minutes of the match. So it was just a back and forth match, and then the Raiders have found a little bit of they found a seam to make things happen, and but Wausau's played a tough match, and that's another nice ball in there. That is about as close as you get. Hindall coming into that and just timing it, and that ball is what I'm talking about, that even you never know. You just need those opportunities, and that ball could have spun off in a lot of different ways. Luckily for the Raiders, it went out of bounds. Now the Raiders go for the clear. Jack Poole trying to keep that ball up in the offensive end. You can see now Watts has pushed a lot of players up offensively. They're trying to make something happen here in the last 7.5 minutes. Throw in here for Wausau. It's a great crowd here today, too. I haven't commented about that. Lots of Wausau West fans making the trip. Super exciting to see, and then a good contingent of local Hudson fans here as well. So, and probably a whole bunch of fans will come on back for the Raiders volleyball match, which is, I'm not sure what time, 6 or 7 o'clock. And they'll be taking on New Richmond in playoff volleyball action. Again, it's the first year the Raiders have had conference champions in volleyball, and that's a dangerous ball in. Wausau knocking on the door, but again, the Raiders' defense keeps that close goal off the board. That's probably the closest opportunity that Wausau's had to the goal. Now at about 6 minutes left in the match. Allen off on it. Going for the corner. Allen off letting it go, but doesn't want to give him a corner. It's going to be a throw-in for Wausau. About 5.5 minutes left in the match. And that's going to be a corner kick for Wausau. So this will be a good opportunity for them to put something on the board here and see if they can make something happen. It's a nice ball in. It's in a dangerous spot, and a great header off the crossbar. And eventually he's going to give the Raiders a goal kick. That's probably the closest Wausau's coming. I honestly thought that was going to go in, but just hits the crossbar and bounces back out. But a heck of a play by Wausau, keeping it going down to the last minute here. Number 2, Will Cook, and number 14, Teddy Anderson in for the Raiders. Pool fighting it out in the middle. Seen a lot of good play out of number 10, Masaki Lore of Wausau West. Great little play there by Luis Sandoval Velasquez. Going to be another throw-in for Wausau at about 4.5-minute mark. Number 18. And I don't see a number 18. Number 18, Owen Bloom in for the Warriors. Number 23, Brian Wright for the Raiders. So Coach Solom getting a few more of the players into the match here with about 4 minutes left. Great season for Wausau West. Playing in a tough division, it looked like, conference, and winning that first match against their conference champions to get here, and putting on a tough display here with the Raiders. Despite the score, it was a tight game for, like he said, about 60, 70 minutes. So free kick here at the 3.5-minute mark for Wausau. Big head out by number 21, Sam Olson of the Raiders, who had the third goal for the Raiders today. Refs stopping the clock. I think he's having a little chat with the Wausau coach, who was getting, I think, a little vocal from what I could hear. And might be just explaining something there, too. It's hard to tell up here. Did hear the coach sharing his displeasure with a few things. So it looked like just a conversation, no foul or card given. 2.5 minutes left in the match. Vega with the ball, trying to get it up. Wausau's really kept it down here for most of the last 5 minutes, just not able to capitalize. Gets tripped from behind. It's going to give the Raiders a free kick at the 2.5-minute mark. As we clock ticks down, I'd like to thank everybody again for tuning in to our broadcast. This may be the last broadcast on River Channel for boys soccer. We'll see what happens down the road here. If the Raiders will be taking on Eau Claire Memorial on Halloween Thursday, and if the Raiders pull that game out on Thursday, then the next game will be here at Hudson Raider Stadium. And we'll be broadcasting. If they don't, then that'll be it. So, but it's been a great season regardless. Both these teams showed well today, and we appreciate everybody tuning in, and look for us back again next fall with boys soccer and in the spring for girls soccer. But we still got a minute and a half. Alanoff taking the throw. Up to Vega. One minute. Down to 30 seconds. Cut back by Vega, clear across, but nobody home. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Raiders throw-in. Down to 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's our match for today. Congratulations to our Raiders for the victory. Congratulations to our Wausau West guests for a great season and a nice match today. I'd like to thank our players and coaches, our officials for a great called game. Athletic trainer Megan O'Leary, thank you for your work. And thanks to all of our friends around the field who kept the balls in play for us today. Hope everybody has a great weekend and a safe drive home.
See you next Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Hudson Raider fans, the next match will be next Thursday at Eau Claire Memorial. Time to be determined, but most likely a 4 o'clock-ish start time on Halloween. So we'll see you all there. And again, everybody have a great night.